Zangy wangy, flippity flow. My neck, my face hurts. I've got stubble and it hurts.
Welcome back to Digi Bros, everybody.
What's up, bitches?
We're on our second play sesh.
On the second sesh, getting back into it.
Dark Souls
figuring
3.
out what the fuck I was doing. Didn't I go fight the mage thing? Didn't I beat that? No?
You did not do that.
It must have been a different character. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't remember what Schmer was up to. That's right, we were talking about yokai watch in this place.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a little confusing because not only have I played, because I had to record that footage for the first 3 episodes that were lost, but then, I also am watching Jesse play through Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
I've got, was watching Shade and Dansan play. So yeah, I also had to take a second to remember where the hell we were.
We should show everyone what Schmer looks like because they probably don't know what his face looks like because
there's a part where you showed his face close up.
Is there?
Yeah.
This is Schmer. Yes, he's got his emo swoosh and his tiny little eyes and his fucking big nose.
Yes.
Schmer!
A very weird looking Japanese guy.
He's quite strange. Once again, it is blazing hot in Conrad's room.
As always.
I'm sure I will start sweating soon.
Yeah.
Should I go kill some crabs?
If you want to.
Let's go kill at least one crab.
They're kind of tough, but they do drop rings.
You can block. You can actually block their attacks.
I'm aware.
Blow! Oh god, I don't do much.
They're also pretty easy to dodge their attacks. Just that if they get you, they do a lot of damage.
Meh.
So man,
he gets me with his fucking crab hand.
So here's something I've been up to in the last, or something I did rather in the last couple of days. So I've been kind of obsessed with this game. I've been watching other people play it, thinking about it a lot, and the more I think about it, or how should I phrase this? The more I think about it, the more I like it. I do think it's good.
You think it's real good?
The fact is, no matter how much I stare at it,
I got grabbed.
No matter how I tear it apart, it remains consistent. Do you get this joke?
What the fuck are you saying?
It's a King Crimson reference.
Why would I get your random fucking King Crimson reference? I'm so confused right now.
You should all
you started trailing off and I was like,
listen to the song Indiscipline by King Crimson.
I'm like, what am I supposed to be getting here that I'm not getting?
It's the song Indiscipline is
fucked up
the lyrics is like the singer is reading this note that he got from his wife where she was talking about the sculpture she had made. But he never addresses what it's actually about. He's just reading parts of this letter, but reading it in a really creepy way. So he's like,
what album was that from?
It's from Discipline.
Which one's
he's
that?
like the red one. The one with the red with the swooshy thing on the cover. It had the song Mate Kudasai.
I don't remember this at all. Why? I know I've listened to that album because I remember the name of it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's corny as fuck. In the song, there's a part where he's like, she's basically telling him about this sculpture and like, why did you take all that stuff off?
I think let's put that there.
On your tool belt? That's not what that is. That's not what you're thinking it is.
I know what this fucking is. You can use it from there.
From what? Oh, just from this menu,
click the you hit the menu and then you use the ember. The fuck do you think I thought I meant?
On your fucking square menu.
Because then it's in the way of my flask. I don't want shit down there. I want it to be very clean. And I don't want to accidentally use them.
Anyways,
these fucking dudes are insane, man.
I don't want to fight these dudes. So in this song, she's sending this letter about this sculpture, and there's a part where it's like, I do think it's good. The more I look at it, the more I like it. No matter how I look at it, no matter how I tear it apart, no matter how I break it down, it remains consistent. I wish you were here to see it. But the way he reads it is like, no matter how I tear it apart, no matter how I break it down.
What the fuck? It's the weirdest reading. Oh no!
That was a stupid-ass way to die.
That's how I killed him before, is by getting on the ladder and then he ran right off. But he kicked me faster than I could punch him.
That is pretty funny.
What an asshole.
Yeah, anyway.
That was pretty funny the way I died.
So yeah, I really like this game, was the point I was getting at. The more I think about it, the more I like it. Which I consider to be the quality like a masterpiece,
Yeah.
right? The quality of a true masterpiece is that the more you think about it, the more you like it. I think if there's something that the more you think about it, the more you don't like it, then it's not as good as you first thought.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Devu, my editor, the Devu, is always saying how he's really fascinated by the way that I can like, or not so much fascinated as he's adopted this philosophy himself from me. That I am willing to, as he puts it, like, what's a phrase he used? It's like I'm willing to throw things under the bus that I used to love.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I don't care about it anymore, it's dead to me. You know, like there's no reason to keep hanging on and like being upset over the fact that you don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Now, if it's something that's interesting, like for instance, like Best Guy Ever is always complaining about the way that Final Fantasy is gone, right?
Yeah.
Now, I do think that if you have a really personal connection to Final Fantasy and you hate how the new games are going, then talking about them and feeling those emotions can be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I talk about Dark Souls 2 or Psycho-Pass 2, I enjoy complaining about them because it's a part of something.
Because complaining about things is fun.
Right.
And finding out why you don't like them.
There's a difference between that and like realizing that you're not that passionate about something anymore that you once were, and realizing that maybe it doesn't fit your tastes anymore.
Yeah.
And at that point you should just cut it off, man. Don't feel connected to it, you know. We were talking the other day about how like my ex-girlfriend was really bad about this because she would love everything that she loved when she was younger.
Yeah.
And there'd be times where I could tell she was like realizing on rewatching something that she didn't like it as much now, but can't admit that to herself.
Of course.
Because it's like, well, I loved it when I was a kid, therefore it's great, you know. It's like, no, it just means you liked it when you were a kid. So
you're allowed to have liked something that's not good, you know?
We had this hilarious experience of watching like 50 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dubbed together.
Yes.
Because she had been a huge fan of it growing up, and so was I. Now, I still, ironically, really enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! She's not the type, my ex-girlfriend was not the type who, like, enjoyed things ironically. You know, it was like she either liked it or didn't. So, for me, like, we watched all this Yu-Gi-Oh! And I didn't, you know, like, I was cringing at it because it's pretty fucking bad. Like, the dub is hilariously terrible.
It's corny as fucking dumb.
But it's really fun to watch. So, like, even though I could tell that, like, slowly over the course of the episodes, she was realizing that she does not give a fuck about this show anymore.
Yes. Oh my god! Holy shit!
But I didn't stop.
Oh, alive! I'm alive!
Got a bee's dick of health! A bee's dick! A bee's dick of health!
Grow a larger dick, bee! Grow a wasp dick! Ah!
Get in there with that bee's dick!
Motherfucker!
Yes!
No!
Get him, fight him.
What? Yeah! In the hood, homie!
Alright, we couldn't hold the hype long enough to finish the battle like we were obviously trying to do.
You escaped.
There he is, that one. No, the purple one. It's always the purple one.
I know. I'm trying to get around that guy.
Suck a dick.
Fuck yeah, suck the big dick.
Yes, suck the big dick. Hey, that's my thing.
That was doing your thing, man.
Oh,
you know what we haven't said in a while?
What?
Fuck my ass.
I just said that like 5 times in the course of that battle.
I've been thinking about it lately, about how I at least haven't been saying fuck my ass anymore. I've completely replaced it with very clean. Totally different emotion.
Say very clean?
Dude, I say very clean constantly in every situation.
I do hear, like, you don't say it as much on Digi Bros. But
I say it in real life.
When I'm listening back to Digi Bros, I hear it at weird moments. You never say it like when it's appropriate.
Apropos.
Like, I'll literally describe something that's dirty and you'll go very clean.
Because now it's become that integrated 7th level irony thing I say where it does not...
Anyways,
there's no context
back
where
to
it
what
ever
we were talking
works.
about. You know, I throw things under the bus when they're not good anymore. If I replay a game or I rewatch a show and I don't feel the same way about it, or even just if I don't, but I don't care anymore, I'm not going to keep saying, oh, I love it, when I haven't really reaffirmed that, you know? Now, so because of that, I feel like, you know, my tastes are always changing and stuff, and I feel like if you play through a game or you watch a show and you think about it, and then you keep thinking of new things that you didn't really care for, then it's like your score should go lower, your feelings should go lower. But if you keep thinking about it and you keep thinking of new things you love, then it means it's even better. I feel that way about this game. I felt that way about all the Souls games, all the ones, you know, except for Dark Souls 2. The more I think about them, the more I like them. I will say that the game that I think holds up the least to this now, funnily enough, is Dark Souls 1. And I don't know if that's only because I've spent so long thinking about what's good about it. Like, for years and years, I've been talking about, like, you know, realizing new things that I thought were great about Dark Souls. But the thing is, in comparison to the other games, I think Dark Souls 1 might have the most problems.
Yeah.
You know, where Dark Souls 1 has, like, a real pacing issue in the second half. I think it has the most, like... While it has some of the, by far the best and most memorable levels in the series, I think it also has some of the worst and least, you know... It has a lot of parts I wouldn't want to go through again, basically. Like, that's my biggest...
Yeah, the second half, to me, is pretty much just, like, rush through to the bosses most of the time. Like...
Yeah, I don't really care for New Londo that much. I don't care for the Tomb of the Giants. Lost Izalith is just a shit level.
Yeah.
I think the Demon Ruins would be cool, if not for the fact that you have to run through it over and over again to get to the fucking Bed of Chaos, which is like the worst boss. I do like Duke's Archives, and the Crystal place I think is like underutilized. Like, that could have been a really cool level, but you basically just haul ass through it every time.
I mean, you can explore more of it. Like,
there's not a lot.
There's some stuff
not much in there. There's like 2 items. There's like 2 little offshoot paths. Not a lot to do there. So, like, but it's a really cool location. But, like, you know, when I think about the other games, like, in Demon Souls, the only place that I find to be, like, a real pain in the ass is the second swamp level. You know, where it's just this big, huge fuck-off swamp with way too many enemies in it. Still a cool design, but, like, you know, I wouldn't, like, I would have to hesitate to go back there. Or maybe, like, the second half of Shrine of Storms, just because it's hard as fuck, you know? Yeah. But, and the final level, because you have to run through the whole fucking thing every time you want to fight the boss. Like, that's the biggest problem with Demon Souls, is every time you die, you have to run through the whole fucking level again. It's like, just, it's too much, you know, it's too far, of a run. Bloodborne doesn't have anything I really, like, would not want to play again, but I wouldn't say it's, like, that every level is hype. In this game, every level is hype. Like, the only level that I don't think I'm, like, a huge fan of is the Catacombs. And the Catacombs are pretty short. You're not down there for very long. And it's not like it's a huge pain. I think it's a good change of pace from the rest of the game.
I really feel like my least favorite place is the Undead Settlement, just because I like everywhere else so much more.
Yeah.
And, like,
Undead Settlement
kind of has the most... like, the look that you're the most familiar with, where it's not as exciting to do.
I would say it's the least, like, interesting level in terms of, like, design, but in terms of visual design. But I really like the level layout, and I'm, like, really interested in what the lore is there. Yeah. Because, like, ever since I figured out that they all seem to, like, worship that tree guy, and that, like, it's all based around that guy, like, I really want to know what the deal with that is.
That guy.
Like, that guy. Like, I'm extremely curious about the Undead Settlement, so I still feel like, and you know, it's still pretty memorable. Like, the thing about Bloodborne, its biggest problem is that there's parts of the city that just kind of look the same and aren't, like, super memorable. You know?
I love all of that, so. But Bloodborne for me is the greatest one. Best replay. We'll play forever.
But in this game, like, every time you go to a new area, it's totally different. You know? We went to the Undead Settlement, and that was, like, a weird city place. And then we went into these, like, creepy woods with these crow monsters. Then we were in a lake. Then we were in, you know, we fought this mage, and now we're about to go to this, like, this fucking kick-ass, like, cathedral place, which is, like, my favorite level in the fucking game. This place we're about to do, assuming you do this level next. And don't just run back.
No, I'm gonna go this way.
Because I've both times I played, I killed the Abyss Watchers before I did this.
I think it's better to do this before them, because it can be tough.
Yeah. Well, this I think this level is a lot harder than the swamp. Like, I didn't have any trouble with the swamp, because you can avoid most of the enemies in the swamp. It's a lot
but some of
harder
those
to
dudes
do
are
that here.
a bitch, man.
And this place has a lot, like, it has some of those fat ladies around. And I consider them to be, like, the toughest
fat
fucking
ladies
enemies in the game.
I think this game, though, along with what you're saying, it's like Dark Souls has the most nostalgia for me, you know.
Right.
It always had that special place and those special moments just because they were the first.
Right.
Where it's like nothing can top those. But this one is the one I'll probably come back to the most just because it's the most polished
well,
and like
I plan to talk about this more, especially if I ever do my video about it. But like to me, I think the point of this game is like that, like to be one that you can always come back to, where like it doesn't concern itself with trying to be something new. It concerns itself with taking the old stuff and like bringing it to the best it's ever been.
I think it's meant to polish what was already there.
Right. I think the combat is the best it's been in the, you know, like, well, not better than Bloodborne, but like it's the best it's of this style. You know, the areas are all super memorable. They're all fun. There's not anything that's like a huge hassle because they wanted this to be a game that like it's, hey, this is the last Dark Souls game.
Shit.
You could just play this one forever.
Yes.
You know,
exactly. Like I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm hoping this is the last game, and I was hoping that it's just like they had this art style and they were like, we can do it to the best we can now with this art and this mechanic, and like that's where like Bloodborne to me was like, this is the perfect creation of this style, and like I don't want another Bloodborne. I want that one, and I'll play it forever, and I love it. And this one I think is the height of Dark Souls art style at least.
I would definitely love to see another game with these mechanics, but another big change, you know, another big evolution, like what Bloodborne was, and in a different art style and a different IP. Not that I would cry about a Bloodborne 2. I would still play it, you know, or even necessarily another Dark Souls. But I think, I mean, they could do another Sword and Sorcery one, just make it a different style of Sword and Sorcery, you know.
Just don't have it have any of the same armor sets and things that we're used to, where it's like, we're done with that. We want something fresh.
So anyways, the reason I brought all this up is, you know, I've been thinking about how great this game is, and I've been considering going like all out and doing this huge Matthew Matosis style video on it. You know, like just fucking hours long, break down every single detail of the game and all that shit. And then I was thinking that the only way I can really do that is I would need footage of Dark Souls 1 and 2, just pretty much all the games. Like, I really need to play through them all again and have footage for them all, because there's so many things I would want to compare, you know, like to show you. Like what's cool about Dark Souls 2 is that it's so bad that it really shows you what all the other games did, you know, right? Like
what the differences are and why it's special.
Like the biggest one is for me is the animations, where like the animations are so bad in Dark Souls 2 that like you would never think about how amazing the animations in Dark Souls are if you didn't play Dark Souls 2 and realize how bad they are in that game.
And it was really like until this game came out, and really like Bloodborne showed a lot of it, and then this game showed even more. But when Dark Souls 2 was out, it was like we couldn't quite put our finger on what was so wrong with it.
Right.
And then they put out the better games, and you're like, I know exactly what was wrong with it. Like they fixed everything that was wrong with it.
So what this led to was me thinking, I want to do a Let's Play commentary on Dark Souls 2.
Where does that guy spawn? Like, where does he start?
Where I play through the entire game and bitch about absolutely everything. Just complain incessantly about every single aspect of the game.
Shit.
Because, you know, Matthew Matosis had this great 45-minute video on the game back when it came out. But here's the most... look, even though he, like, really... He covers a lot of the major points, and he states how disappointed he is at the end. But the first thing he says in the review is that he still thinks it's a good game, and that it's better than a lot of, like, most of the games over the last 5 years, you know? And that was the sentiment a lot of people had about the game when it came out, was it's not nearly as good as Dark Souls, but hey, it's still better than most other games. And I completely disagree with that sentiment. I think it sucks. I think it's a shitty game, you know? I like, there's nothing about it that I like. I despise every element that goes into it. I think it ruined everything that Dark Souls did right. So like, I wanted to make this video just complaining about it, so or video series, and I would do like I wanted to make it like slightly edited, you know, not just of like a commentary, but lately I've been really inspired by Jesse's Blue Glow videos, where it's half edited, half commentary, and like it's you know, just gives you something that's a little bit more permanent than a Let's Play. Because I think the biggest issue I have with like this kind of content is that it's not as revisitable, and it kind of just feels transient, and like once it's done, it's done. Like,
yeah.
You know, I don't know how true that is. I don't know if people rewatch Digi Bros ever, because like there are Game Grumps sessions that I've rewatched, and there's been like, you know, I'll rewatch a lot of Let's Drown Out with Yahtzee and Gabe, but it's usually because I kind of like forgot what it was about, and I'll just watch it again once I've, you know, like just because I remember it being sort of pleasant and having a certain feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know if Digi Bros is like that. I
mean,
don't know if
it might be
rewatch it.
Down the line. Like, I could see rewatching all of it in like fucking 5 years and being like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like a home video,
but
you know?
I think there's something to be said about like just taking a little bit to make it not like as transient and make it something that's like, you know, like with Jesse's Blue Glows, it's mostly just unscripted rambling, but he does little things to make it feel like something that's worth revisiting. That it's like that it is a video, not just a random thing that you watch once.
These fucking dogs followed me all the way out here.
Yeah, man.
Motherfucker.
They'll follow you into the church. I've seen it.
Yeah, I think I did this last time. Fuck.
Last time, like
second playthrough.
No, yeah, it was when I was watching you play. That's right, because we were listening to Biggest Problem, and you were playing. Or no, we were listening to Hello Internet that you were playing.
Yes.
But yeah, so I started up that playthrough of Dark Souls 2, and I recorded an hour and a half of me bitching about the game. Contemplating like when or how I will release it, because the problem is that I'm fucking, not only am I terrible at the game, but I'm playing much worse because I'm talking about it, and I'm bitching about everything, like every little possible thing. I will find something to complain about, so I'll just get hung up in like one spot for 5 minutes complaining and complaining. In a way, all the dying I was doing made it easier for me to have time to complain about some of the stuff, but yeah, it's quite a bit of complaining. And I don't even know if it's really entertaining is the problem. Like,
of course.
I'm listening to it back and I'm like, yeah, I'm making lots of good points, but does anyone care? And like, it's kind of cringy in a way, because it's just me bitching so much. Like, I'm getting so mad because I keep dying. So I was considering like trying to do it with Shade playing and like him, you know, co-commenting with me after like the 4 or 5. I think I recorded 4 episodes.
Dude, this is one of my favorite segments in this game. Just this place right here.
I fucking love this.
Where it's just zombies growing out of the ground, and it's the coolest fucking thing, and they're like infinite.
Yes, they never stop.
It's
and before you learn your way through here, it's just a maze full of constant zombies. I was like so paranoid when I came here the first time. I was like, what is happening?
And then they're like pure, man. They're pure fucking slow, scary zombies. If you know, if we're not talking and you have the sound right, then it's like creepy as fuck, because it's broad daylight.
I love that.
They make scary sounds.
One of my favorite things about this game is how much of it is in daylight.
Exactly, because it's even scarier to see a monster just standing in a place in the daylight, and you're like, that's fucking creepy. You can see all of it from a distance, and it's just standing there.
Anyway, to wrap up my point, I have all this Dark Souls 2 footage. I might start releasing it at some point, but I played an hour and a half and didn't even beat the first boss. So that's about the level of speed. And then I realized, like, basically the reason I'm hesitant about whether or not I'm going to keep doing it, like, I guess I'll release it and see how people feel about it before I decide to continue. But, like, it's...
Look at what he's doing.
It feels like I will be playing for fucking 80 hours to beat it at the rate I'm going, which is why I'm hesitant to even do it, because it's not fun. Like, the bitching is fun, but playing the game is not fun.
The bitching and the moaning. The bitching and the moaning.
Alright, next time on Digi Bros.
Next time.